Yeah, it looks like there's 6 on. Tell us if you hear us. This was kind of a rush thing, folks. We didn't plan it that way. No, 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 I don't want that. 7 people. Can you hear us? Can y'all hear us? Hello? Thing, folks. Well, we didn't plan it that way. No, 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 I don't want that. All right, thanks. Got a loud and clear. All right, let me get this up a little higher here. Oh, this is.
He tried to change it to 7, but for some reason YouTube said 6:40.
Yeah.
So you're 10 minutes early.
Are we coming through? No buffering or anything?
Everybody says sounds good.
Yeah, well, I know, but I still worry. And I even intended on putting on a nicer looking shirt. And that didn't happen. And this is in the way here. And let's see.
Okay, take a deep breath.
Trying to get us centered here better. All right. I think we're
here. Woo!
we were nice, cool, and calm and collected all day, you know, and I planned on getting everything ready an hour ahead of time. Hi, Delilah. Yeah, well, you can come up here. Come on. Put your face in the... Anyway, I planned on, you know, having everything all ready. I like to have everything all ready where I don't have to be rushed. And all of a sudden, the internet died at 4:30 today.
Yep, it just totally went boom.
Yep, boom. And where we are parked here, we've been here before. The internet has always been fantastic because and we're on T-Mobile, and the T-Mobile tower is literally blocks away. You know, it's over there. It's over there. Not
So
very
when we
far
knew
at all.
we were moving to this spot, we
Yeah,
we can schedule live.
yeah. We can go live.
problem.
No problem. So, but then when it died and we kept watching it and watching it and watching it, I even hopped in the van and drove up and literally parked across the street from the tower, and the upload speeds were dismal, you know, and I've said it in the past and I'll say it again. To make sure we don't buffer, we have to have a minimum of 10 megabytes per second upload speeds in order to do it without buffering. And we were doing good to get 2. But, you know, before that we were getting 20. So go figure. What? Chia seeds? I'm going to open this curtain over here so we'll get a little bit better
Okay.
for the internet to come through the window. Be right back.
All right. Hi, everyone. Larry and Linda and Crow's Nest Adventures and John Kay and Mr. Total Joker, author Leslie, Hugh Phillips, and Tiny Wonderland. Been a while since we heard
Tiny
from
Wonderland.
you.
Haven't heard from you in a while.
Glad you all could join us, even though we're not totally prepared yet, but we're getting there.
Yeah. We'll get there. The funky way you...
It's not funky. He doesn't know how to tie the curtains back.
Well, I'm
So
going to do it.
he's doing it man style.
Doing it the way a man would
I have
do
a
it.
nice little tie on the curtains with a hook.
Now they're
knotted.
No. Well, it went
Man's way.
your little hooky thingy bobbers didn't.
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't.
You want to make a bet? I can turn this camera around and show how it can be done.
No, then I got to try to get it all back
Okay,
together.
fine.
And all set up right and everything. So.
What time is it? It is 6:54.
Yeah.
How cold is it? Last time I was able to check, it was 32 degrees.
Yeah, but that was while the sun was still
It was
shining.
4:30.
Yeah. And because, you know, our internet went down, we couldn't look. And we have 2 thermometers, but they're both inside. I guess we could have put one of them outside, but then one of us would have to step outside to see what it
Well,
is.
there is this modern invention you can get
I know.
that you can have a thing that shows you the outside temperature and the inside temperature.
Oh,
Modern
what is
conveniences
the
like
world coming
that.
to? You know. But anyway, I saw some other stuff pop up. What's anything?
Did y'all get snowed in? We did get snow last night.
But
It wasn't much.
no, they were predicting around this area, and we're still in the Northwest Arkansas area. We pull out of here, so you'll know. We pull out of here November the 27th. It was going to be the 29th, but we were out at a campground on Beaver Lake, and it was, in order to get out of that campground, it was a hill, about like that, for about a mile and a half, and we weren't supposed to move out of there until today. But when they started predicting the end of the world, um,
We
for
decided, let's see if we can take our
Yeah.
spot a couple of days
yeah,
early.
so we juggled things around so we could leave there on Sunday.
And
to-
Ken, I don't want to know that it's 72 degrees there.
yeah, and I saw your Facebook comment.
Just stop
I
it.
don't want to hear it. We'll be down there before too long. But anyway, so we we moved our schedule up so we could be over here. So basically what we've done, we've moved everything up 2 days. We were originally going to pull out of here November 29th. Now we're pulling out of here and start moseying south November 27th, which was 2 weeks from last Sunday is when we'll be heading out.
Yes. Headed to warmer
So,
temperatures.
Yeah. But as far as we've had temperatures in the last week and a half, we've had nighttime temps get down around 20 degrees. Isn't that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
On several nights. And quite honestly, that kind of weather for Northwest Arkansas this time of year is kind of strange. Usually we don't see this kind of winter weather in this area till for a month later.
Later, late
usually
December,
well after
January.
Thanksgiving.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely after
And
Thanksgiving.
we hardly ever, in the last several years, we haven't even seen snow till like February. If they had any at all.
Delilah's been cooped up in the house all
Yeah,
day.
and Delilah's
She's feeling a
cranky.
little bit cranky.
Well, they can't really see her the way the cameras point. Ow! Ow!
Maybe we don't want to see her. She's all cranky. Yeah, she needs to go
She's
away.
mad because we wouldn't let her go outside.
And yet, but when we let her go outside, she gets mad and
because
wants
it's
to come
cold.
in.
Because
It's 73 degrees
yeah,
in
it's
here.
nice in here. So why isn't it out there? Explain.
Yes, someone asked. They said the mini split must be working. Yes.
Oh
it
yeah,
is.
it's working very well, quite well. Now we are plugged in now,
Yes.
and it's just as well because in order for our solar system to work well, it requires a little simple thing called solar.
Sun.
Requires that big ball in the sky to be shining.
Minnesota is looking forward to balmy -3.
Oh man!
I'm so sorry.
But
I'm so sorry.
We haven't had that lately. So in order to run the air conditioner or the heat pump, we have to have good sun during the day for our battery bank to get through the night, and then of course the panels take over again the next day, and bring them back up. And right now, it just wouldn't be feasible.
No.
So, and that's
If we were depending strictly on solar, we would have already been headed to some kind of sunnier places.
well, I'll tell you, I think I'm going to go ahead and unplug right quick, and then I'm going to say, hey,
I have to see
shore power ain't working.
All of my children will be. Do you know how many years it's been since all of the kids have been together at one time?
I know it's been a while. So, yeah, we're going to get together on Thanksgiving, and then the following Sunday is when we pull out. Right?
Hi, Steve. Hi, Paul and Julie.
Hey, Paul and Julie.
Glad y'all could make it.
Are
even
they the
though-
ones that said it was going to be a balmy -3?
No, that was my Hypnomatic, Mr.
Oh,
Hypnomatic.
Okay.
No,
Hypnomatic. Cool.
they're going to have wind, snow, ice. That sounds like winter.
Yeah. That's one reason why we built this thing.
That's
is
right.
to
So
not
we
be
could
in
avoid this kind of stuff.
not be in climates like we are at the moment. It was my dream for years when I was working to be able to do this when I got older.
Of an age,
Yeah, more mature.
more mature.
Yeah, more mature. And So yeah, that's what we need to do is start heading that way.
And that's what we're going to
Yeah.
do. And
But we're going on the way down. I don't mind telling you where we're going to go. We're going to stop off. We're not going to, rush.
no, we as
Uh,
we've said before, we like to take it in hops.
yeah. And we'll show you a couple of campgrounds along the way. One in particular when we get there. But we're going to stop first off at two familiar campgrounds that we've been, actually three that we've been to before. We're
Yes.
going to stop at Ox Ark Campground, which is right next to Ozark, Arkansas, just barely across the Arkansas River. In fact, our site will back up against the water
Yeah.
there. And traditionally, once you get over the Boston Mountain Range, the temperatures average about 10 degrees warmer than they do on this side of the Boston Mountain Range, and it's been that way for years. So, and then from there, we will go on over to Willow Beach Campground, just a little bitty campground near Little Rock, also on basically on the Arkansas River. And then from there, we go on down to what's the name of that town in Mississippi? Keep forgetting the name. It's Whitten Park.
Whitten Park in Fulton,
Fulton,
right outside
Mississippi.
of Fulton, Mississippi.
And then after there, we're going to our favorite campground. I'm going to hang around there for a little while. One of our favorite campgrounds, most favorite, and that's Pickersville Campground, which is in Pickersville, Alabama. And it is right on the Tennessee Tom Bigby waterway. And generally speaking, we were there this time of year, what, 2 years ago?
2 years ago, yeah.
And it was just beautiful there. Temperatures averaged in the mid 50s to mid 60s during the day.
I have pictures that we both, when we were riding our bikes, had
Right.
gloves on.
Right. Yeah. Well, you had to wear gloves because
But there were no mosquitoes.
Right. And no mosquitoes. Yeah, you don't want to go there. Well, we don't want to go there in the spring or summer because the mosquitoes are huge there. So,
Yeah.
and they can, and they dive bomb you. I mean, you feel like someone's throwing gravel at you, because they dive bomb you.
Someday we will come to East Tennessee.
Oh, yeah,
Someday.
absolutely.
Tell Bill thanks for the help on all my plumbing questions.
No problem. Wish I could help you more. If I could be, face to face with you, where I could talk with you more. I could
He
help
needs
you
to
more
come
with that.
down. We can't go up.
Right. Right. Yeah. Don't.
Sorry.
If you want to meet with me, come on down to, Alabama, Florida, down in there.
Somebody told me what Delilah was doing back in the bathroom.
What is she doing?
Inspecting the cabinets.
Of course she is. Well, she knows we're on. She's jealous. She just wanting to be cantankerous and mischievous. Yeah, you're being a brat. She's right over here.
Surely
over my left shoulder.
never being a brat.
She's always being a brat. It's like having a teenage daughter. It really is. And many of
So
you know.
what did we do all day today?
Nothing.
We did nothing. We kind of just sat in here. I had a crock pot meal going.
Boy, you're a
Bill
stinker.
did start working on, I think we've got 4 more walkthrough videos to
Right.
upload, and he was working on some of those.
Yeah.
Hi, Aura.
Hey, Aura. How you doing, buddy? I've been meaning to call you. I'm going to give you a call in a day or two. I'm going to make sure we talk before we leave Arkansas.
Yep, need to do that. Yesterday, we both had doctor's appointments and stuff, and had to get the van looked at one more time. Discovered we
Yeah.
probably are going to have to buy another set of tires.
Yeah, got to buy 2 new tires. Van started pulling real hard to the right just all of a sudden. And I'm thinking, oh man, either I've got a front end component going bad, like maybe a control arm bushing or a ball joint. And so I need to get that checked out first before I schedule a front end alignment, thinking it'd need a front end alignment as well, which of course. So anyway, I went to my mechanic yesterday and he looked it over and he said, no, the ball joints are all fine. Control arm bushings are all fine. Everything's fine. And he said, if I were you, I would rotate the tires opposite, put the right front one on the left front and vice versa. And then let's see if it starts pulling the opposite direction. And if it starts pulling the opposite direction, then we know it's the tire, even though the tires have quite a bit of tread left. So we did that right quick. We just simply pulled it into his shop right quick and raised it up and took a few minutes, and both of us jumped in there and moved them over. And I drove down the road, and guess what? All of a sudden the thing starts pulling hard to the left. So we need 2 new tires for the front. We just bought 2 new tires a month ago for the back. So now we're going to go ahead and get 2 new ones for the front as well. And that should solve that issue. And we have a minor oil leak, so I'm taking Paul Bleimeier's advice, one of our followers, and we're going to go ahead and pull the motor cover. He said that on the LS motors, after they get a few miles on them, which this one has 258,000 on it, runs like a top though, but we still got a small oil leak, and we fixed another oil leak where the oil cooler lines go into the block just above the oil filter. We put a new gasket there, and that took care of a bunch of it. But we still have a little bitty leak coming somewhere from the back of the motor down. And Paul suggested that we check the oil pressure sending unit, which is at the back of the block on top. So next Monday or Tuesday, I've got the new part order. We're gonna go ahead and put a new one in no matter what. But he said sometimes that those tend to start leaking after a while. So we're going to go ahead and double check that and go ahead and replace it and see if that fixes that. So if not, we'll live with it until we can address it again later, because it's not major. It's just enough to be irritating. So
Maybe it's the flux capacitor. We understand that.
It's pronounced flux capacitor,
Yeah,
not flux capacitator.
Okay, sorry.
Okay.
So
I'm going to have to take you back to that movie and have you watch it again.
I may have to watch the movie again. We've been watching a lot of movies lately.
Yeah, we have. We have.
Hi,
Anyway.
Selma. Cindy, hi.
Well, hey, Selma. How are you doing? I hope Alejandro's doing well.
Lee Courtney, hi.
Well, hey.
I Love Lucy, hi.
Hey.
And John Duke, hi.
Hey, John.
We can't wait to see you all.
Yeah.
And Todd. Did I say Todd?
Is Todd on there too?
Our Todd.
Our
Todd, I
Todd.
was watching your beautiful trailer today.
Yeah, watching your...
While Bill was doing the video. It's like, okay.
Yeah, watching the clips, figuring out the editing I've got to do, and we're going to get that video up. We got, as Deb said earlier, we've been doing a lot of walkthrough videos lately, and all of these were shot during the last Tiny House Adventures rendezvous that we had at Lost Bridge North Campground here in Northwest Arkansas on Beaver Lake about a month ago, or a little more than that, somewhere in that ballpark. And actually a little longer than that, but we got 4 of them to go, and we've got 2 7x16s to showcase, and one of them is Todd and Kim's trailer. And then we have 2 6x12 trailers to showcase. And
I get a sneak preview.
yeah, and the 6x12s are your basic conversion, just so you can get out there and go camping.
Closed captions for the Yankees may be needed. As Todd's comment.
Oh, Todd. Oh. Todd?
No, Tiny, we have never boondocked in Colorado.
No.
We have never camped in Colorado.
No.
We are hoping to,
Yeah, we're...
but not this time of year. Sorry.
No, not this time of year. We had planned on traveling in the northern part of the country last summer, and then of course we had some issues with a van crop up, so then we ended up having to turn around and come back down here because I have a mechanic here that I can trust, and he's been my mechanic for over 20 years, and I've known him and his wife for over 20 years, and he's honest with me. I know that he's not going to flim-flam me in any way, shape, or form. And he's very, very reasonable in price. So I wanted to come back here and, get his input on all this stuff. And so we did that. And, of course, then we ended up, because we didn't know how long exactly we'd be here. So we ended up being a park attendant. But I think that's going to be the last time we ever park attend.
We hope.
Yeah, the last time.
It really just ties us down too
Right.
much.
And so we are planning on, when we leave Florida, May-ish.
We'll probably leave Florida April-ish and mosey home.
When
Mosey.
we leave Florida, May-ish.
I'm the one that decides where we're going and when, so he can just yak all he wants.
Hey,
I'm the one that does it.
who wears pants in this family?
Me. So, back off.
Well, you do have all the power, that's for sure.
Hi,
Anyway,
Shelley. I know you guys are going to be heading south soon.
yeah, you guys are fixing to head down there, and we can't wait to see you guys again too.
Hi, Happy Place Camping.
Well, hey,
I saw a couple of your new videos.
yeah, sure did, sure
Yeah.
did. Uh,
Somebody wanted to know what size generator we use.
we use, well, we use a small generator. The generator is a 2,000 watt generator, and that's 2,000 peak continuous 1750. And of course, if we tried to use that generator to run the entire trailer, because we're total electric, it wouldn't work. And for those of you that's been following along as we go, in fact, we did a two-part series here a while back when we boondocked for a week and a half. We have two power inlets that come into the trailer. One is our standard shore power inlet, and we also have a 15 amp power inlet that comes in, and it only powers one receptacle inside the trailer. And what this enables us to do is we have two chargers. We have the main charger, which pumps in 12 amps into the battery bank. Then we have an auxiliary charger that I wired in an excess port to, so I can plug it into the system. She's wanting attention, isn't
Oh,
she?
she's going up in her hiding hole.
Of course she is. But anyway, we have this auxiliary charger that I can simply set on the shelf here next to the bed. And I have an extra port that I wired into the system, so I can just simply plug it in. And so what we do when there's not enough sun to keep our battery bank where it needs to be in order to run our entire trailer, we will plug in that generator, and all the generator has to do is run those two chargers, and that's it. Then we depend on our 3,000 watt pure sine wave inverter to go ahead and run the trailer. So, if we were going to run the whole trailer plus the chargers, we'd have to go back to like a 3,500 watt generator in order to do that. But the way we have this set up, I like this idea mainly because this generator only weighs 49 pounds, whereas the 3,500 watt one that we had before weighed double that. This one takes up very little space. It's easy to haul and transport. It also sips fuel. I mean, it just literally sips fuel. It runs forever on very little fuel. And and again, because the other generator that we used to have weighed more, it was also twice as big. And we have the van. Everything we own, pretty much, is in the van or in this trailer. So that's one reason why we went that route. Plus, that generator is a lot quieter than the 3,500 would be, especially when all it has to do is power those two chargers. And then as long as we are careful about the appliances we use during the day, it'll bring the battery bank back up in short order,
Change.
So.
Several of them saw Delilah go up. She has discovered that if she jumps from the bed up, she can get into a container and she sits there and stares to see which container is not quite full.
Yeah.
So I have literally almost got one where it's just got my bathing suits in it, and I don't need my bathing suits right now.
Oh, well, not till we get to Florida.
And that's her secret hiding place.
Yeah.
Which works great until she decides to come down in the middle of the night.
Like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and she decides to dive down.
She jumps right on you.
Yeah. And usually, if I'm laying on my back, and around 3-ish is when I usually have to get up and make a potty run right quick. Well, so y'all know that there's pressure there. And when she dives off, guess where she lands? She lands right where the pressure already is. So I'm ready to get right up and run to the bathroom right quick.
She got you up, didn't she?
Yeah.
Okay.
But we love her.
Elsewhere, hello from Arizona. We've been seeing pictures of your beautiful homestead you're building.
That is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really coming along nice.
Someone wants to know, how did you get the courage to start doing videos? It wasn't me, it was him. Because if you go way back, I'm not in them.
No, and at first, when we first started shooting videos, I was very reserved. I guess is a good way to say it myself. a little conscientious about my appearance and things like that. So I always made sure that whenever I did shots of me, it was to the side, never shot straight on.
Boy, have you changed.
I know. And, when I was younger, I was pretty outgoing. And in fact, I was a little bit of a smart aleck and a tad obnoxious. Can you believe it? I was. But as time went on, I got to be more reserved. And so the first several videos, and I was always afraid that I might misinform people or say something that wasn't right. And I still feel that way to this day. I'm still very careful, wanting to make sure that what I say is right on the money, especially when I'm talking about a project that we're doing or whatever, especially when it comes to plumbing, electrical, and things like that. Well, when it comes to anything,
He
because
doesn't want to misinform any of
yeah,
you.
I don't want to misinform or give anybody the wrong idea. But as time went on, it just got easier and easier. And I do all the editing and everything. I do most of the filming. I'll hand the camera to Deb now and then, but
He doesn't like the way I do it.
well, I like to just like right now. Remember, folks, if you were here when we first opened up tonight, remember how I adjusted the camera so I could put us in the middle of the screen?
Little things like that.
Little things like that.
I'm not that
I'm a
picky.
little anal when it comes to that kind of stuff. And I handed her a camera one time. We was doing a campground feature, and I said, "Here, take the camera and point it out the side window on her side, on the passenger side of the van, so you can shoot along there while we talk." So we were going along talking, and I was driving slowly while she was shooting out the side window. And I look over there, and and the camera was just kind of drooping down. She wasn't really paying attention on where it was going.
Hey. I do camera work just like you do dishes or run the wash machines.
Oh, you just had to play that card, didn't
Yeah,
you?
I did. On your water heater, did you put in a separate circuit?
Yes. Yeah, the water heater's on a circuit all by itself. It's on a 15 amp breaker, and that's all it needs. I mean, that's all they recommend for that one. It's a Echo Temp, 7-gallon. It's rated at 1440 watts, and I do believe it's on a 15 amp breaker on that. And yeah, but it's on a circuit all by itself. And that's another thing.
Well, we actually have what, 10 circuits? Two are
10.
main.
10. Yeah, we have 2 that we're using for the mains coming in, and then so it's a 12 circuit panel.
Right.
And we have done a little overkill. We've got several.
Yes. But it was for a reason.
We've got 4 receptacles in the front of the kitchen that are all each on their own circuit. Now they all run like a toaster oven, coffee pot, microwave, things like that. But they are on their own separate circuits all by themselves.
The one that runs the coffee pot is also
the
refrigerator.
One that runs the fridge.
So if we wanted to turn off everything else except that one circuit,
yeah, just
so
to
we
keep
could
the
run
fridge
the
going.
coffee pot in the fridge, we could do that.
We could do that. Now, a lot of you that have electrical experience, you already know this. Now, we use a regular house type panel in this trailer. I'm going to go into a little bit of semi-technical stuff here, and I'm going to try to make it brief. But when you let's take an RV for example. Let's go to an RV, and everybody knows, a lot of people know that we wired this particular trailer for 50 amp service. Now let's talk about the difference between 30 amp and 50 amp service. Now when I'm referring to 30 amp and 50 amp service, I'm talking about the kind of service you'll find in a campground that is designed for RVs. Okay. A 30 amp service in a campground has 3 wires. You've got a hot wire, a neutral wire, and a ground wire. The hot wire, only one hot wire, and it is a number 10 wire, and it is rated at 30 amps coming into the trailer. So you have 30 amps period coming into the trailer. Okay. If you want to talk about watts, and it's 120 volts, 3,600 watts. That's what you got coming in if you do that, to go that route. 50 amp service at an RV service pole in an RV campground, you have 2 hot wires coming in, 2, and a neutral and a ground. 2 hot wires, a neutral, and a ground. A 50 amp plug will have 4 terminals on it, 4 plugs. And what you've got in those two hot wires, when they say 50 amp service, you've got two hot wires, 50 amps each. 50 amps, 50 amps, then your neutral, and then your ground. So we used a house type panel, and in a house type panel, the way it works is, you know, you got a hot lug here, you got a hot lug here, and then of course you got your neutral over here, and then a ground over there too. But you got your two hot lugs coming in where you run your two hot wires coming in. And the way those are designed, they jump back and forth to each breaker. So you'll have jumping over to this breaker, then it skips a breaker down, then it skips a breaker down, skips a breaker down, does the same thing on the other side. So that's how you can use a 220 volt appliance in a regular house type panel, because when you plug in a double pole breaker to run a 220 volt dryer or something like that, it's actually picking up both hot legs. One is picking up this hot leg, and the other one's picking up the other hot leg, and getting your 220 volts. Now, that's what we used in the trailer. Now, what you got to be careful of when you are wiring your trailer for 50 amp, especially 50 amp, it ain't going to matter a whole lot if you adapt down to 30 amp. And we'll talk about that here in just a second. But when you're wiring your trailer for 50 amp using a house type panel, you have to do what electricians refer to as balancing out the panel. In other words, we've got a toaster oven, we've got a microwave, we've got the air conditioner, we've got the water heater. Those are our four main power hog appliances. Those pull more power than anything else. So what you have to make sure that you do is balance it out. You don't want to end up with all four of those power hog appliances on one hot leg. You want to balance it out where, you've got, if you've got four appliances that are the four main hot power hogs, you want to split them up where two of them is on one hot leg and the other two is on the other hot leg. And that really helps you out when you're in 50 amp, when you're running 50 amp service, because you got two hot wires coming in. Now, of course, when you adapt over to 30 amp, the way you can adapt if you go into a campground that only has 30 amp and does not have 50 amp service, so you're going to be adapting all the way down from two 50 amp lines all the way down to one 30 amp line. And the way the adapter works, when you plug it into the pole, it'll have your three prongs, your three male prongs that plug into the pole. And then on the other end, it'll have the female end, it'll have four holes. And of course, two of those are for hot, and one's for a neutral, one's for a ground. Well, the way they make both sides of your panel hot is inside that there's a jumper from the one hot leg over to the other hot leg in the adapter itself. And that's how it makes your panel hot. So that's how that works. But the main thing when you're wiring your trailer for 50 amp, keep in mind, you want to balance out your panel. You don't want to put everything on one side, because even then, if we were to run everything, let's say if we had the toaster oven going, the microwave, the water heater was on full blast, had the coffee pot going, and went ahead and had the griddle going at the same time, and if they were all on one hot leg coming in all at the same time, we could still blow a breaker. It could happen.
Okay.
What, did you understand all that?
Well, I've heard it 1,000 times.
I know. So consequently, when we're on 30 amps, since we are total electric, we still monitor things. We don't run the water heater around the clock, especially when we're going to be running the heat pump or something like that. If we know we're going to be running the toaster oven, which a toaster oven will run longer than the microwave. Now, the microwave will pull a lot of power, but it's a much shorter period of time. The toaster oven will pull a lot of power over a longer period of time. If we're baking a cake, if I'm baking a cake, right. If I'm cooking dinner in the toaster oven,
right.
So we still monitor that stuff. Like we'll still back down and not keep the water heater going, around the clock, just to make sure that we don't overtax the system when we're plugged into 30 amp.
Okay. Have you ever thought of putting in a wood burning stove?
Not really.
No.
Not really.
Because then we'd have to get firewood or pellets, or the electric just works best for us.
Yeah, and we don't really plan on being stationary long enough to make sure that we have wood available and stuff like that. But yeah, if we did a pellet stove or something like that, it'd be easier to transport.
A lot of people do pellet stoves.
Yeah, a lot of people do that, but not really. for
No,
us.
not for us.
Because here's the thing, which we will remind everybody again. And we said it earlier when we started this conversation.
Todd, I don't have anyone.
We're out, Todd. But she drank it all. And she drank all the Fireball, too.
All by myself.
Yes, you did.
I don't think so.
I turned around, the bottle's empty.
Marvin was witness to the last bottle. Go ahead.
We built this trailer for the most part to chase warmer temperatures,
Yes.
to chase warmer climates.
Yes.
I don't want to be anywhere for any kind of extended period of time where I have to think seriously about heating my home.
To be honest with you, when we first built the red trailer, we were not even going to put heat in it at all.
Right.
Because we weren't going to be in cold temperatures.
Right.
Thank goodness we did.
Yeah. Yeah, thank goodness we did, because we ended up, that's when that other thing hit, and we ended up having to stay put because they closed all the campgrounds down.
And we needed
blah,
the heat.
blah, blah, and we had to stay through the winter. And so, you've always got to be ready.
Okay, now you have thoroughly confused Saltzilla about electric.
Who?
Saltzilla.
I confused her?
I thought I understood electric systems, but I guess not. It's very complicated.
Well, I probably didn't explain it very well either. It'd be easier if I had panels to show you and cables of wires and stuff like that. And you know what's funny? When I explained all this, when I talked about this, when we built the red trailer, because we wired the red trailer for 50 amp service, and I explained the difference between 30 and 50 amp, you would not believe how many people came in and said that I was all wet and didn't know what the heck I was talking about. And they didn't use the term "what the heck." But then I referred them to a particular YouTube video out there from a RV expert that explained the difference. And of course, I explained it exactly the way this guy explained it, because that's how I figured out how to explain it. Does that make sense? Did I explain it to you? So, but, they tried to tell me that I didn't know what I was talking about. Then, of course, I had to go ask them.
Fireball is a good heater. I agree.
Yes, it is.
But we're out of that too.
In our family, we have had, two of them passed away, but we presently have one master electrician in the family, and at one point we had three. So I had lots of help.
Consulting.
So
And some consulting.
And I was assured by them, as well as other master electricians, that I was right. So there you go. What else? That's delayed. See,
I know it's very delayed.
I can see.
This is behind.
Now I'll be looking there, and I'll see it here in a minute.
No, it's confusing, so you can't do that.
Oh, okay.
Don't do that. Okay, what else is on the agenda?
We pretty much told everything about what's going on. For now, I just can't wait to find them warmer temperatures. We're looking forward to spending some time at Pickensville, Alabama, at this campground. Pickensville is the name of the campground. Is Pickensville. We're going to be there for about a week.
A little over a week.
And we're going to be meeting some of our followers there, and of course, all of these we've become friends along the way. So
that is probably the coolest thing, and we talk about it quite often.
Mm-hmm.
And someone else brought it up. They said, you not only meet these people, but it sounds like you stay in touch. And yeah.
Well, yeah. You know what you're supposed to do?
With some of them, I mean.
Yeah, we do.
It's just, and we're meeting several in Pickensville, and we're going to have a fun week, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. And do we dare go ahead and talk about the spring Tiny House Adventures Rendezvous?
Here's someone said they ordered their shirt for the Florida Rendezvous.
Wow, fantastic.
So awesome. Yes, it is available on the website. Yeah. We don't have our sample shirts yet to show you. But they are on the website, and if I do say so myself, they look pretty good.
And on some of these shirts, some of them are available with and some are without, so be sure and look. Our tagline that we always use at the end of all of our videos, we're not camping, we're living. Well, some of these shirts, you can get them with that on the back of the shirt. And so if you want to go that route, be sure and look at it and, make sure
look
that's
front
the
and
one.
back.
Yeah, look at front and back. And I think we even have a hoodie that's going to have that too. Is that
yes.
right? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll be sure and be sure and check that out in case you want to make sure you get that particular
Hey, Mary.
garment.
Yeah, our internet went out suddenly here too, and we didn't think we was going to do tonight.
Yeah, yeah.
But here we are.
I guess nobody's having any trouble with buffering or
I
anything.
don't think
Nobody said
so.
anything. Okay, good deal. Yeah, it was kind of weird. It was real strong. We were surfing the net. We were looking up all kinds of stuff, and
We were using it all up.
yeah, I guess that's what it is. We use it all up, use all our
Well, I
allotment,
think
and
some
force.
of it possibly was school was out today here
Yeah,
because, of inclement
if
weather.
they get a dusting here, they shut the
And,
schools down.
it could be that everybody was on using cellular at the same time all of a sudden, maybe. I don't know. They were sucking it up.
One thing I will say about the electrical, 50 versus 30 amp.
We're tired of that subject.
Okay, but I just want to say one more thing.
Now,
A lot of
one more
people
thing.
say, "Why did you wire it for 50 amp?"
Yeah, well,
And my answer is, "Why not?"
because we could.
And the thing about it is, if you're considering this, it only costs, the only additional cost is the cost of the power inlet is about $10 more to get the 50 amp power inlet over the 30 amp power inlet. And then there's a difference in the price of the power cords. A 30 amp power cord is about $75, and you'll pay around 130 to 150 for a 50 amp power cord. And that's it. Everything else throughout the entire process of wiring your trailer is the same. It's just that when you have 50 amp available to you, you'll have a lot more power, especially if you go total electric. When we're plugged into 50 amp, we don't have to turn anything off. Everything's running all the time. It doesn't matter. So, just so you know that.
Any hindsight on this trailer build versus the red trailer that didn't work to plan? What we've done different between this and the red trailer, just looking here in my kitchen, I went with a bigger sink because I discovered that I had a double sink in the other one, but it was small double sink. It was very hard to do dishes day in, day out. So we went with the bigger sink. This trailer versus the other trailer went with the mini split instead of the overhead air conditioner. And it is also a heat pump. So we're very pleased that we did that.
I think their question was the changes we made on this one, did it not go to plan? Did it not turn out like we thought it would?
Any hindsight on this trailer build, knowledge and experience from the red trailer that didn't work to plan?
I'd say no. I'd say everything's working the way we anticipated that it was. But we spent a lot of sleepless nights, especially I did, thinking about how we wanted to do this. And we still made some changes along the way. For one thing, and you can't see it right now because the refrigerator is behind the camera, the phone. We were originally going to put the refrigerator over here. And we had it setting there for a while before we did our cabinets and everything. And that's one reason why the trailer only has one window on the passenger side of the trailer and two windows on the driver's side of the trailer.
We put backer board where we're going to put windows.
Right.
Or anything.
Right. Yeah. When we knew we were going to put these windows here, we put backer boards up against the skin on the inside of the skin, so we'd have something really firm to tighten the windows down to. When we installed the windows. And like I say, our original plan was to put the fridge over here to the side, just next to the door. But then when we moved the refrigerator to the nose of the trailer, we liked it a whole lot better. And since we had already got the trailer skinned on the inside and insulated and all that stuff, it would have been too difficult to go back in there and try to mount an extra window there. So we just left the one window there. Now we've got two side doors. We still intend to put a window in each of these side doors, but it has to do with this, money thing, and money's tight. Money's tight right now. And now we got to buy $300 worth of tires,
So
which we did not
windows
plan
can be
on.
shoved to the back corner.
So something always comes up where we got to shove everything back. But I would much rather have good tires and not have one blow out on me or cause me to have an accident on I-10 running 70 miles an hour.
Susan, email us and we will give you the dates of when we're going to be in Pickensville if you want to come see us. Our email address is iridetinyhouse@gmail.com.
iridetinyhouse@gmail.com. All one word, all lowercase. iridetinyhouse gmail.com.
Now, when we leave Pickensville, we're going to Foley to visit with
With a friend.
down
Well,
there.
we've met him once,
Yeah.
but he's been Jim, but he's been a loyal supporter of the channel pretty much since day one. And we just think the world of Jim, and he has invited us to come and spend a couple of days with him down not too far from Gulf Shores near Foley, Alabama. So we're going to go down and visit with them for a couple of days.
Right.
And then from there, we go, we meet up with Marvin and Mary south of Tallahassee. And then we part company for a while and we go to an undisclosed location
East of Gainesville.
15 miles east of Gainesville for a while. And then we come back to Itchituckney Family Canoe and Cabins Campground.
For the rendezvous.
Which will be the site of the rendezvous. And the rendezvous dates are February 20th through the 27th. But we will be there 2 weeks prior and a week after. So we'll be there for a full month, but we'll be there 2 weeks prior to February the 20th. And then we'll be there a week after the rendezvous, mainly to recuperate from all the festivities going on there. And then we don't know where we're going from there.
No, we haven't determined that yet.
But I know we're not coming back here for a while.
We're not coming back up here till May.
Nope.
End of April, 1st of May.
Yep. So, anything else there?
Nope. Diana Kay finally made it. She was having internet issues too. Our son Mike in Centerton said he was having internet issues as well. So maybe it wasn't just here.
There's a long comment just popped up. What's it
That
say?
was
What's
in
it say? What's it say?
Pickensville.
What's it
That
say?
was-
What's it say?
Todd says Louisiana. When we leave Florida, you just never know, Todd.
Well, yeah.
That's a definite maybe.
Yeah. And Todd, I wouldn't necessarily be coming to see you. I'd be coming to see Kim.
Yeah. Is the mini split your only heat? Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Yes,
Yep.
it does an excellent job. Right now, I've got it set on 73.
Yeah.
And we are quite comfortable. I also have back in the bathroom, we have the max fan. And if you close the vent, you can run it like a ceiling fan and it helps circulate the air in here.
Yeah.
Seems to work very well.
The biggest issue that we have, which is not the fault of the mini split at all, and it's really not a major issue. Well, it kind of sort of is, especially in these kind of temps. The weather stripping around these doors is not the greatest in the
No,
world. So I am going to address that and get some better weather stripping that seals better, seals up against these doors better. Because if you get up close to the door, especially if we've got a breeze blowing pretty good and the temperatures are in the 20s, you can feel some cool air coming in. But the mini split more than makes up for the deficit there. That's for sure.
Yep. We're not anywhere near, I mean, we're very comfortable.
Very. Well, I'm not even wearing 2 layers of shirts, just one.
Just one.
Yeah. And what else?
And elsewhere and said, and Fireball. That helps keep us warm too.
Yes.
So, Bill, did you use shark bite connectors on your plumbing? And if so, did you have any problems with them?
I used a few, not very many. I only use shark bites where I would have a hard time getting in to use the standard PEX fittings. And while we're on the subject of PEX and PEX fittings, there's 2 types of connectors. You got your crimp connectors, and you got a crimp ring, and then there's also one called a pinch ring. And on the crimp ring, you have to use a fairly large tool. The unit's about this long. It looks like a giant pair of pliers, and you literally, when you slide your PEX up over the end of the fitting, whether it be a 90 or whatever it's going to be that you're connecting to, then you have to take that crimping tool and then crimp it down real tight. A pinch ring has a little nubby on it, and the type of tool you use a pinch ring tool with it, which is about the size of a large pair of vice grips, and it's a ratchet style, and it's got these teeth on the front, and you can literally just lightly ratchet it down and just barely bite those teeth, so it'll hold or barely bite the nubby, and then slide it over the PEX tubing. slide your fitting on, and then while you're still holding the tool, slide it up. Then you want to get it within 1/8 of an inch from the end of the PEX pipe. When you slide the PEX all the way up into the fitting, have that ring stop at around 1/8 of an inch back, and then you just start ratcheting down. And it's got a blue, the one that I have, made by Apollo, has a blue LED light that lights up that tells you when you've got the proper tension.
And we have never had any problems.
Never had a bit of trouble with any of the fittings. And what I do like about it over the big crimp ring type, you can get into tighter places with that pinch ring tool, but make sure you buy the proper rings, because here again, there's crimp rings and pinch rings. If you use the pinch ring tool made by Apollo, I paid like $45 for it, and I think they're 50 something now.
We got that at Amazon, didn't we?
Amazon, but they also had them at Home
Lowe's.
Depot for the same price. But make sure you buy the proper ring, depending on what type of tool you have. But I like, how'd that happen? I bet that was from Delilah.
Yeah.
Yep, she got you. But never had a bit of trouble. And I've used shark bites both in a red trailer and in this trailer. But like I say, I think in this one,
very few.
I've got some in the shower wall. I built a hollow wall, 6 inches with a 6-inch cavity inside, so it'd be real easy to run all my PEX plumbing in there to plumb the shower and all that stuff. And I've got an excess panel that I can pop off and get to all that real easily, but I did use some shark bite fittings in there because it was a tight fit.
Shelley says, Jason says there's also expansion pick. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the new thing. That's the one I really want.
That's the one, but it takes another special tool, right?
Well, there is a manual tool you can get, but you got to buy. I think it's a special kind of PEX tubing you buy too. I forgot what they called it.
I just remember seeing it.
Yeah. Well, George on Humble Road, he uses it.
Right.
Yeah, that's what he uses. But he basically what you do with it, your fit. You don't even have to use a pinch ring or a crimp ring or any of those. On that, you stick this special tool, and it looks like a drill, but you stick it into the end of the PEX pipe, and then you pull the trigger, and it flares the PEX out, and then you slip it over the fitting, and then the PEX shrinks back down over it. But what do they call that? It's not standard PEX. It's a different kind. And then the fittings, but you don't have to worry about pinch rings, and it's actually much easier. But your tools are more expensive, to at least in my experience, that's what I've seen from what little research I've done. The tools are more expensive to go that route. But shark bite fittings, no, haven't had any issues at all with shark bite fittings. I used shark bite check valves.
Right.
For my city water, I've got a check valve right behind where my city water comes in. I've got a check valve right there behind there, flowing the direction of the city water coming in. And then I've also got a check valve from my water pump where it enters the plumbing system. I've got a check valve there flowing the direction from the pump to the system. And the reason why I did that is I don't have to manually turn one valve off and another one on when I'm switching from city water to my freshwater tank. The check valves handle it all automatically with no problem whatsoever. So that's one reason why I did that. And it's real simple. And those check valves you can get them in 1/2 inch and 3/4 inch, and they're like $20 some a piece, maybe close to 30. But I use them both in the red trailer and on this trailer, and they work great.
PEX A or PEX
I can't remember. I'll have to. Next time we go live, I'll know more about that if we have any more questions pop up.
Meet us up sometime where maybe we talk
Jason
about it.
knows the actual name of the PEX. It's PEX pipe, but it's a special kind of PEX pipe.
She just said expansion PEX.
Yeah,
so.
well, maybe
that's the name of it. Who knows?
Did I say Jason and it was really Shelley? I'm sorry.
Shelley speaking for Jason.
Oh, Shelley speaking. I know the feeling, Jason.
Hey, watch it. Watch it.
Jason is our resident fire starter at the rendezvous.
All of these women will be together, and then you're going to be in trouble.
I can handle it.
Yeah, that's all I'm going to say about the matter.
Look at this face. Look at this baby face. They can't be mad at this baby face, can they?
Oh, yeah, Mark, you're coming here next year.
Yeah, Mark.
Yeah, we've been wondering about you. We heard that you were.
We will come and see, if we don't park attend next year, which I'm not sure we're going to, we will be dropping by, and who knows, maybe we'll just come to the campground you're going to be running.
That's right.
Yeah. And see Kono again.
That way
and
we can visit.
everything. We did a walkthrough on Mark's trailer. His is the 24-foot black trailer, and he painted his mini split to match.
Well, a lot of people are doing that.
I know, dear. I mean, Todd, we were looking at the clips on Todd's trailer today, and
Todd's is painted pretty black. And Mark's is painted pretty black. And mine's just beige.
no, it's white.
It's really not white.
But the trailer's gray, and the mini. Now she wants me to paint the mini split.
Actually, I want to do a blackout treatment.
Yeah,
Paint all the
yeah.
chrome black.
We've got the chrome ATP on the front of the trailer, and
and
she
it should have
wants
been
to.
black, like Todd's.
So, okay, can I have a motorcycle like Todd's?
Sure, as soon as you find a place to haul it.
What else?
Lisa. Hi, Lisa. How are you guys doing? We've been thinking about you all.
Lisa. Oh, Dave and Lisa?
No,
Oh,
Lisa
sorry.
Jumper. Lisa.
Oh, that Lisa.
Anyway, Kim says, paint her mini split bill.
Thanks, Kim.
Let's see, I've got Kim
Thanks.
and Mary and Karen. Who else can I get on my side?
Karen's already on my case because I still have to finish the bathroom.
Well,
You know, the
I know.
Karen's probably not watching tonight because I haven't seen any comments from her.
Diana loves my blackout idea.
Of course you do, Diana. Would Tommy come and help me, Diana?
No, it's too cold right now.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it's going to be too cold the whole time we're here.
Yeah, yeah. And Tommy, we're trying to talk him to come to Florida, so we'll see.
Well, what else is going
He
on?
says, someone says, I bet you're glad you still don't have the red trailer. A red mini split would not be a good look thing.
You know, I agree with that. I agree
Yeah.
with that. No, I don't think a red mini split would look good.
No.
Even though it's a red trailer.
No, I
it
don't
just-
think so either.
No, that just wouldn't fit.
No,
No.
no, no,
No.
no. It would have had to been chromed. Because we had all that pretty
Okay.
chrome.
How many do we have on the channel or watching right now? Can you
Diana will volunteer Tommy.
tell? Oh, she will.
Lisa said they're sorry they're late. They had to pour the wine. And here we are without any leak. That's
So-
just not right. Crow's Nest
Yeah.
said he'd just paint the mini split.
Yeah.
I didn't know he's bringing it to a vote, but hey, thanks.
Speaking of Lisa and Mike, that was her husband's name, right? Mike. Of course, Mike never got to talk much because Lisa kind of carried the conversation. While we were park attendants at Dam Site Lake Campground, they showed up there, and they're from over in Oklahoma, and they're followers, and of course they come by to say hi and everything, and we just hit it off. The four of us hit it off, and we were together every day, and we asked them. I hope it's okay that I tell this story, Lisa.
It's too late now.
But
Sorry, Lisa.
a lot of people know that our favorite wine while we're in Arkansas is made by an Arkansas winery, and the name of the winery is Post. And our favorite wine is Post Concord wine. Now, this ain't your Mogan David Concord wine. This ain't like that. It's not like grape juice, This wine has a little bit of a kick to it, and it's not super, super sweet. And the reason why it has a kick is because it's 19% alcohol, and the way they arrive at 19% alcohol is that they add brandy to it. So anyway, we asked them if, we said we just bought this bottle of wine, and do y'all like wine? They said, well, we don't normally drink wine. No, not really. And I said, well, would you like to try some anyway? Yeah, we'll try some. So they were sitting there at the picnic table with us, so we poured them a little bit like this. Set the bottle down, and we were just visiting and carrying on, and next thing I know, Lisa's reaching over there grabbing a bottle, and she's, pouring some more in her glass.
We enjoyed
And
it.
yeah. And anyway, then we were talking some more, and then Mike, next thing we know, Mike reaches over there, grabs a bottle, and he pours him some more. So we just keep on talking, and we pour a little bit more in our. Now we're talking little wine glasses, folks. We're not talking tumblers here, okay? But next thing you know, they're grabbing the bottle again, and they really like it, and they, So then the next day, of course, we had to take care of business, in the campground. So we made arrangements to meet again that evening, and lo and behold, when they show up, they had went out and bought some of the same wine. So we sat there, and they didn't buy the big bottle; they bought the small bottle. So it's
Bye, Felicity.
but we enjoyed it together. Then when it was time for them to go home, they stopped off at a store before they got out of Arkansas, and they sent us a picture, and the cart had like 5 bottles of that wine in it or something
Todd
like
says
that.
it tastes like dust.
Well, Todd, you're weird. But anyway, they really liked the wine.
Steve and Marla
And
said, when you said I do, you
yes,
do what she says.
thanks, Steve. Well, I've learned. I know that to be true. I know that to be true.
Happy wife, happy life.
Oh yeah, how many times have I heard that? How many times
What
have I heard
belongs
that?
to you? What's
What's
mine is mine. What's yours is mine. There's all kinds of sayings.
Yeah, there's a long comment there. What's that one?
Yeah, but Kim says, but Todd can cook good food.
Yes,
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 he
he can.
can.
Todd, I'm really good at making oatmeal.
Oh, whatever.
I taught you how to do spaghetti.
Here we go again.
Well, I did.
We've had this discussion.
I did.
Been on an hour.
Okay, we'll start winding it down here in a second.
Okay.
Any other? Does anybody else have any questions?
No, we're
or-
too busy all making fun of you.
Oh, of course.
Of course.
Well, we're real sorry that we couldn't get on time tonight, and I'd already made posts saying I apologize, but the internet's down and blah blah blah. And then lo and behold, as soon as I removed the thumbnail and everything from the live, lo and behold, Deb looks at her phone. Oh, she says internet's back. So then all of a sudden we start scrambling, to get everything back up and running. So
So we were a little late. Sorry about
yeah,
that.
yeah. But we're so happy we were able to
Yeah, we're so happy y'all joined us tonight.
yeah, sure enough. And talking about all these walkthrough videos, and we'll say this again, a lot of you folks have been watching the walkthrough videos that we've been posting, and we still have 4 more to go, and all of these were shot at the last Tiny House Adventures Rendezvous that we did, here in Arkansas. And the common theme among almost all of them was they showed up not knowing anybody hardly at all, and they left with a whole bunch of new friends. And one of our favorite sayings was one of them we're looking at today, which we have yet to post. What did she say? No gripey pants in the whole
No
group.
gripey pants.
Yeah, something like that.
It was so cute.
The way she said that, she said everyone was just wonderful and so happy, and there was not a single gripey pant in the whole group. Something to that effect.
Something to that effect.
Yeah. But that has been the common theme of so far, the 2 that we've done. That's been the common theme of these rendezvous. And our goal is to try to do 2 of them a year, is what our goal is. So if you can find your way to attend one, whether you can come in a rig or not, that doesn't matter. Some folks, we even had some folks that came and didn't bring a rig, that they went ahead and got a Airbnb and came by for the day. We had 2 or 3 people that did that.
Shelley, go to our website, which is iridetinyhouseadventures.com, and then you will see a drop down and go to our store, and that's where you can order the merchandise.
Yeah. And get them ordered if you want merchandise in time. Time is of the essence. Get them ordered soon.
They're saying that it takes at least 2 weeks
Yeah.
from the day you order it till you get them. So
especially
keep that in
those of
mind.
you that are going to be
Traveling.
and leaving out earlier, try to get them. If you want to order some merch, go ahead and get it ordered. But we know for a fact that the campground is totally booked solid for this next one coming up, and there are several people on a waiting list in case someone has to cancel. And the more we go back and look at all these clips of these videos that we shot at the last one, and when I'm sitting there editing these videos, my eyes get a little watery while I'm editing some of these videos because of it's just the feeling that you get, and everything from all of the camaraderie that was there, during the whole thing. It's just like Todd's been commenting here. I'm going to tell him what you did, Todd.
No. Be nice to Todd.
Oh, well, it was funny, though.
Just be nice to Todd.
I'm being nice to Todd. But Todd had to run to the store, and he ran on his motorcycle. Well, on the way back, and this is only like the second day, I think. On the way back, he decided to run. There was this little spot where it was a little paved area that went up next to one of the campground host spots. And he just wanted to run up on this little paved area and come down on the other side on his bike. Well, when he got to the peak of that thing, all of a sudden his bike was on high center, and he couldn't get off of that thing. So he calls Kim, and Kim's looking at me, and she hands the phone to me, and Todd says, "You know where the campground host normally is up there?" And I said, "Yeah." And he says, "Well, that little sidewalk thing, And I said, "Yeah, did you drive up on that?" And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "So did you get high center?" And he said, "Yeah." And so I said, "Hang on, I'll get somebody." So anyway, we had a large crowd gathered around our site because everybody was meeting us there at our site. And I just simply grabbed everybody's attention, and I said, one of our fellow campers has his motorcycle on high center up at the top of the hill. And this one guy pops up and says, "I'll go up and get him." And he didn't know who Todd was. And another guy pops up who didn't know who Todd was, nor at that time didn't know the other guy that said that he was going to go up. And he says, "I'll go with him." And so the two of them, not knowing each other and not knowing Todd, hopped in a pickup, went up there and helped Todd get off that high center. That's the kind of people, that we have come to these rendezvous. And that is, in the real world out there, you don't see that kind of stuff all the time. But with our followers, that's what we're seeing is that kind of closeness, that kind of willing to help someone
Todd
else.
says family is what it is.
Yep.
And Diana says, yes, family. Yeah. And that's the way we feel.
Right.
So it's pretty cool.
It is very cool. Very cool. I get choked up all the time. I'm going to cry myself to sleep tonight.
Oh.
Anyway.
We really appreciate y'all joining us.
Yeah.
We've been on here more than an hour, and we appreciate that very much. And we hope to see, if we don't see you at the rendezvous, maybe we'll meet you up at some other location sometime. If you know we're in your area, give us text us, message us, whatever, and let us know, and we'll be more than happy to meet up with you.
Be watching for 4 more walkthrough videos between now and the end of the month.
What is the black device above the bed? Oh, you're talking about over there? That's a little speaker.
It's a little Bluetooth speaker, a little magnetic Bluetooth speaker. Let me get that thing right quick. That's pretty cool. You can get them at Home Depot and on Amazon and places like that. I don't know.
Yes, Linda, send me an email so I have your email address.
Thank you, dear. Now we're not going to be centered when we get back. We've never really talked about this thing, but this thing is cool. When we got this, we paid $20 for it. You're trying to knock me over, dear.
Oh, I thought you was already out. I'm sorry.
Did you really think I was already out?
No, not really.
That's what I thought. Anyway. Yeah, this is a pretty cool little speaker. And it's got a magnet on the back. And what I did so I could mount it up there on the shelf.
It's actually made for toolboxes.
Yeah, stick it to a
metal toolboxes.
But it's Bluetooth. You can hook your phone right to it. It's got really good volume. What we like about it is when we were park attendants, we have our nicer stereo speakers on either side of the TV. But when we got them playing, you can hear them outside if you're, fairly close to the trailer. And so what we would do when we would come in the evening and we didn't want to be bothered by campers banging on our door at 11 o'clock at night and we were wanting to watch TV, we would stick this thing up above the bed right above us and Bluetooth to this for our audio and, and watch TV, but have it just barely loud enough so we could hear it right there and it'd be a lot easier for us. But really
It
handy.
works great on the outside. We can,
Yeah.
because our metal studs, I can put it on the outside and we can have music outside.
But you can get these at,
Linda, our email
Amazon.
address is iridetinyhouse@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Good night, Johnny.
But anyway,
Okay.
yeah, these are available on Amazon as well. But make sure you get one that has a magnet on the back. Also, what you can do with this, if you Bluetooth your phone to it, you can take phone calls with it, and it acts just like a microphone as well. Yeah, you can literally just speak, and this thing picks it up. So it's really cool for that. Anyway, pretty cool little speaker. We love it.
Yep.
Has its place. Anything else?
I don't think so.
All right.
Thank you for coming, guys.
Yeah, thanks for joining in. We really appreciate all of you. Please, if you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. We are asking people to do that now. We're starting to grow. Last we looked, we were 26,300 and something in subscribers. We want to see that hit 50,000 if we can. Well,
Why not?
Why not? Well, I really want to see it hit 100,000. But oh well. Please subscribe, like, and tell other folks about us. We're going to try to get 2 to 3 videos a week up every single week is our goal from here on out. And we'll be documenting our travels, letting you know kind of where we are, showing you the campgrounds, introducing you to other folks along the way. So, we'll have lots to show you as time goes on, right?
Right.
Anyway.
Thanks, guys.
Guess we're going to let you go.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bill and Deb, I Ride Tiny House Adventures. And you know what we're going to say? We're not camping.
We're living.
You all get out there and do some living. And we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Now, if I can find that little button here. We love yous too.